Hello everyone and welcome to our channel KassDays. You can see a little map here on the right hand side where we start the day and where we're gonna end the day, and the direction of travel with the little pointy finger there. But anyways, in this video we are on day 2 of this 22-day road trip up to Alaska that gets us also into Yukon and the Northwest Territories. If you have seen our day 1 video, you may recall we stopped in Hinton. That's in the province of Alberta, and that's what we called home for the night. And we just left now on day 2, and we are going from Hinton all the way up to Fort St. John. That's in BC, or also known as British Columbia, so that's the most western province in Canada. Right now we are just coming up on the town of Grande Cache. That's still in Alberta, a fairly remote town, and I think a lot of people here are working in the mining industry. Now, while we're at that, don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe. It really helps you out, and it's free for you, but much appreciated from our end. And as we keep driving here, we come up eventually on we won't see too much, but a little bit on a coal mine that's still producing coal as of this day. A lot of them have closed up, but this is still a active one. You see maybe the chimney there to the right hand side, and up front is the mountain side where they are mining some of this coal. And we are coming up. The coal is actually going under the road, on a conveyor belt, going from where it's mined over to the processing plant. I don't know much about that, but from there then also loaded, I believe, into train cars. Now as we keep driving here, if you're wondering how much the distance is from Hinton in Alberta to Fort St. John, that's about 6 hours, depending of course how much you stop and how much you do sightseeing. It's about 540 kilometers, or if you're more familiar with miles, that would be about 338 miles. Now this road here, it doesn't quite show on the camera, but it was actually a nice drive. Trees as far as you can see, and it was almost a bit as a roller coaster. As I say, the camera doesn't really do justice with the ups and downs. I jokingly said the only thing missing is the loop on a roller coaster, so it was very interesting to drive. We will be making a stop in Dawson Creek as well. That's actually, I guess, the world famous sign indicating the official start of the Alaska Highway. Now, speaking of the Alaska Highway, do you know where the Alaska Highway ends? What's the official end point of it? If you do, let us know in the comment. Also stay tuned to our videos, as we will travel through that town as well, and I will mention it again at that point in time. I think now we are getting much closer to the British Columbia border. So again, that's the most western province in Canada. So we left Alberta, and then you've seen the provincial sign on the right there, and of course you have the normal road signs with what's coming up and what's slightly different. Not much difference, but it's just as a reminder as you cross into a, I guess, different province in Canada. US would be a different states, so depending which country you are in. So this is now the highway number 2 towards mile 0 of the Alaska Highway. And at this time of the year, although it's still very early in September, all the crops are in, it's harvested, and farmers are getting ready for the winter. At this point now we are arriving in Dawson Creek, and again we're gonna make a quick stop after we navigate the roundabout here, and we'll pull into a parking lot. It's a fairly big parking lot, so during the height of the summer months, I guess July, August, when all the school vacations are on, I think this is a fairly busy place here. But we're just gonna turn off the main road here and check out the sign.
But this is the one we wanted, right?
Yeah,
I assume so.
Yeah, the other one's pretty boring. It's got all this stuff too.
Here we go. You can see it up front. It's not very busy anymore at this time of year. And we're gonna hop out of the vehicle here. And here it is. You can see all the stickers to the left. Maybe some of your favorite YouTubers were here as well. And of course we're taking a quick picture here with myself, holding on. And as I said, that's mile 0. Here one more time from the other side, looking at some of the stickers. So again, this is Dawson Creek. We are still in Canada for probably another 2 days or so, and before we then cross into, actually it's more, because we made a change in our travel plans, which I cover later. Make a stop for a quick snack and a washroom break. With the fuel situation, we are still all good. And from Dawson Creek, we are driving on towards Fort St. John, and we are going downhill right now. It's quite steep downhill again into the Peace River Valley, and gonna cross it's an iron bridge. Not just the framing and everything, but also what we drive over. The actual road is not pavement, it's a middle or an iron grid where we drive over. I think some of the older bridges definitely have been built like that. We should be coming up here, or should be coming up to it, yeah, very shortly. Here we are, crossing the bridge, and the first town, once we get across this bridge, it's actually fairly long, it's a fairly big river as well. Goes here from British Columbia out and eventually flows into Alberta, and there's a town there also called Peace River as well. It's named after the river. But the first town, once we get over the river here, is Taylor in BC, and after that we are going to move on and keep driving towards Fort St. John. We didn't really make a stop in Fort St. John. It's a fairly big town, or maybe it's classified as a small city, I'm not certain, but we just kept driving on, and the sun is slowly getting lower in the sky here, so it's time to start thinking about where we're gonna be home for tonight. And we decided to stop at the Charlie Lake Provincial Campground. The campground is not open year-round. It's closed somewhere from the middle of September on, and it's not that busy anymore, as the nights are going to be fairly chilly at this time of year. Charlie Lake is, I think, about 15 minutes outside of Fort St. John. Now here I'm chopping up some firewood, getting ready. As I said, it's going to be a fairly chilly night. I'm sure we'll have some frost in the morning. Get some kindling ready and get a fire started. It was a little bit difficult, nothing too bad, but as you can see with all the smoke here, the firewood available wasn't really completely dry, so there was some moisture in it. So I'm just chopping everything up into relatively small pieces, and with the fire going now, lined it up around the fireplace to dry it out before it goes into the actual fire pit then. Once I'm caught up with that, it will be dinner time, and then a relatively early night, as we're going to get up and start early the next day for our day 3 travels, leaving Charlie Lake. And we'll see what adventure that brings and where we're gonna end. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.